This is Tony T here from Tony'sPicks.com with our college football pick show. This will be week 4, part 1. We do these in parts. We got 50 games, FBS versus FBS this week, so we'll knock 10 off today. For more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Lots of free picks over our channel, delivered by myself as well as a team of cappers here at Tony'sPicks.com. Hey, give us that like, that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. It really helps us build up our audience when you do that. We go live every day, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. It is the Tony Picks Morning Show. The cappers join me, give out live free picks. So, guys, check us out on that live show. And looking to become a capper, we're looking for cappers. Apply. Just send us an email, the link on the homepage, and then visit our site, Tony'sPicks.com. We're our multi-capper site showcasing top performers in our industry. Click the links of the hot cappers, get signed up to the long-term passes. You see our top performers up there like Sean Higgs, Rod's up there, Mills, yours truly on the leaderboard. As well, Jorge, you've seen these guys on our YouTube channel as well as our live show. Aside with a big day yesterday as well. Latest premix here, set the page with best bets and more. We will be locked and loaded here for this card this week. All of our one-day passes, profit guaranteed. Most of our profit amount purchased is correct to your account for site price. That's profit guaranteed. So we're locked and loaded for this Tuesday card. Lots of best bets on the board there for you guys. Promo code TonyT at checkout knocks off that 15%. The link's in the description to get signed up. So let's go ahead. Let's get this one underway. I got SMU and TCU here for Saturday. SMU 2-1 after their 28-10 road win at Missouri State. They got behind 10-0, held scoreless for the first 26 minutes of the first half against a first-year FBS school. They committed 2 turnovers but rushed for 4.9 yards a carry and moved the football through the air. The defender run well but gave up 275 yards passing on 38 attempts. Kevin Jennings here, 24 of 36 passing for 281 yards with a touchdown and pick. TCU 2-0 after a 42-21 home victory against FCS Abilene Christian. They opened with a 48-14 road win at North Carolina. It was a dominant win for the Horned Frogs behind 258 yards rushing and 7.4 yards per attempt here, and good passing performance. They limited the Tar Heels to 50 rushing yards. Josh Hoover in the game, 21 of 27 passing for 337 yards and 4 touchdowns. SMU's inconsistency with their offense are concerned. They are allowing 320 yards passing per game, 7.4 yards per pass attempt. TCU's rushing the ball for over 6 yards a carry, 9.3 yards per pass attempt with really good defensive performance. SMU 0-6 to the spread on the road in the non-conference. Pick here, TCU minus 6.5. North Texas and Army. This one going off here on Saturday. We got North Texas 3-0 after their 59-10 home victory to Washington State. Mean Green had a really good performance on both ends of the field. They rushed for 163 yards, 5.6 yards a carry, and productive in the passing game. They held their Cougars to 64 yards rushing and defended the pass well. Drew Messemaker, 24 of 29 passing for 211 yards and 4 touchdowns. Army 1-1 after a 24-21 road win in Kansas State. The other Wildcats rushing to 74 yards and ineffective passing. Army rushed for 237 yards and had a 40-minute time of possession in the game. Cale Helms completed 7 of 11 passing for 43 yards and a touchdown. He rushed for 134 yards and 2 scores. Army likely will just milk clock with high number of rushing plays in their triple option offense. North Texas has defended well, holding teams to 3.3 yards per rush, 6.1 yards per pass attempt. The Black Knights had defended the pass well last year as well. Black Knights have defended the pass well this year. Last year, Army won 14-3 on the road as they rushed for 293 yards and defended well. Army 3-1 the under at home, facing teams that average 250 yards passing or greater. Pick here, North Texas Army under 52.5. Arkansas and Memphis going off on Saturday. We've got here Arkansas falling to 2-1 after their 41-35 road defeat to Ole Miss. Razorbacks had great offensive output, rushing for 221 yards and getting production from their passing game. Defensively, they surrendered 357 yards passing to Ole Miss on 30 attempts, which was their undoing. Taylon Green, 22 of 35 passing for 305 yards with a touchdown. He rushed for 115 yards and a score. Memphis 3-0 after their 28-7 road win at Troy. Tigers were balanced offensively with 217 yards rushing for 4.8 yards a carry and efficient passing. They stuffed the Trojans' offense for 40 rushing yards and 72 yards passing. Brendan Lewis in the game, 17 of 27 passes for 213 yards and a touchdown. He rushed for 41 yards. That was an impressive defensive performance by the Tigers on an improved Troy team and on the road last week. They are holding teams to 2.4 yards per rush, 5.7 yards per pass attempt. Lewis has been accurate and efficient in the passing game and a threat to run. Arsaw has been poor defensively on third down and in pass defense. A concern here. Pick here Memphis plus 7.5. Maryland and Wisconsin going off on Saturday. We've got here Maryland 2-1 after a 44-17 home victory at FCS Townsend. Prior, they came off a 20-9 home victory against Northern Illinois. Their running game produced 3 yards a carry and efficient in the passing game. The Terrapins held Huskies to 91 yards rushing with 180 rushing yards on 191 yards passing with 180 rushing yards on 48 carries. Freshman quarterback Malik Washington hit 19-35 passing for 254 yards and 2 touchdowns. Wisconsin now 2-1 after a 38-14 road defeat at Alabama. Badgers inefficient with their passing and ineffective rushing. They held the Crimson tied rushing in check, but allowed 382 yards passing on 30 attempts. Billy Edwards was injured and missed the past 2 games. Danny O'Neal 11-17 passing for 117 yards with a touchdown and 2 picks. Edwards is day-to-day. Tough spot for a freshman quarterback in this road game here. The Badgers run defense allowing 1.9 yards a carry. Maryland's running game has been ineffective in battling, and they're battling accuracy issues at the quarterback. Badgers are getting accurate passing. The Badgers have been dominant in the series, winning their past 4 recent meetings by 7 points or greater. We'll take this one. We'll take Wisconsin laying the 7.5. UNLV and Miami, Ohio, I should say. This one for Saturday. UNLV 3-0 after a 30-23 home victory against UCLA. The Rebels were efficient in their passing game and rushed for 148 yards for 4.6 yards a carry. They allowed 173 yards rushing to the Bruins, but only 6.1 yards per pass attempt. Andy Calandria, 15-21 passing, 203 yards and 3 touchdowns. He rushed for 59 yards in the game. Miami 0-2 after a 45-17 road win at Rutgers. The Red Hawks gave 162 yards rushing and struggled to defend the pass. They held the ball for only 21 minutes. Daquan Finn, 14-22 passing for 251 yards and a pick. He rushed for 85 yards and a score. UNLV has performed well offensively and held opponents at 6.5 yards per pass attempt. Miami, Ohio has struggled to get points on the scoreboard by averaging only 8.5 per game. UNLV has a true road win at Sam Houston by 17. Rebels 7-2 the spread as road favorite. Miami, Ohio 0-2 the spread as home underdog the past 2+ seasons. Pick your UNLV minus 2.5. Bowling Green and Louisville. This one going off here on Saturday. We've got Bowling Green 2-1 with their 23-13 home victory against Liberty. Falcons rushed for 4.4 yards a carry and were inefficient in the passing game. The Falcons limited the Flames' running game and allowed 7.7 yards per pass attempt. Bowling Green had a +4 turnover margin in the game. Drew Pine 16-31 passing for 146 yards and a touchdown. Louisville 2-0 after their 28-14 home victory against James Madison. Louisville rushed for less than 4 yards a carry and were ineffective through the air. The game was carried by the defense that held the Dukes at 2.7 yards a carry and 4.4 yards per pass attempt. Miller Moss, 13-23 passing for 151 yards and a touchdown. Cardinals' offense was unimpressive against their lone FBS opponent. Bowling Green quarterback Pine is a transfer from Notre Dame, where he spent the time under center in multiple games. The Falcons' defense has been effective in stopping the run and limiting opponents' scoring. Bowling Green 7-2 as a road underdog. Pick here Bowling Green plus 26. Texas Tech and Utah going off here on Saturday. Texas Tech 3-0 after their 45-14 home victory against Oregon State. Red Raiders rushed for 3 yards a carry and had monster passing game. They limited the Beavers to just 8 rushing yards and 6.1 yards per pass attempt. Baron Morton 23-35 passing for 464 yards with 4 touchdowns and a pick. Utah 3-0 after their 31-6 road win at Wyoming. Utes crushed the Cowboys on the ground for 311 yards on 45 carries. The passing game was inefficient. On defense, they held the Cowboys to under 4 yards per rush. and 4.7 yards per pass attempt. Devin Dampier, 27 of 41 passing for 230 yards and 2 touchdowns. He rushed for 86 yards in the game. Utah faces their first real passing attack. Texas Tech improved their team through the NIL and really are loaded. The Red Raiders 4-1, the spread is a road dog. Utah 3-4, the spread at home. Facing teams that average 250 yards passing or greater, the pick here will be Texas Tech plus the 3. Syracuse and Clemson going off on Saturday. We've got Syracuse here 2-1 after their 66-24 home victory against FCS Colgate. 2 weeks ago, it was a 27-20 home victory in overtime against Connecticut. The Orange rushed for under 2 yards a carry, but were effective in the passing game. They allowed 4.1 yards per run with 6.2 yards per pass attempt. Steve Angeli here, 33 of 53 passing for 417 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Clemson falls to 1-2 with their 24-21 road defeat at Georgia Tech. They rushed for 5 yards a carry, and the passing game fell short of expectations once again. They allowed 147 yards rushing to the Yellow Jackets for 3.5 yards a carry, but 7.5 yards per pass attempt. Cade Kovnick, 15 of 26 passing for 207 yards, a touchdown and a pick. He rushed for 62 yards and a touchdown. Clemson has a starting back and receiver banged up. The Tigers' offense has really lacked efficiency. The Orange has gotten good quarterback play. The Tigers scored no greater than 27 points this season. Clemson 4-6 to the spread as a home favorite. We'll take Syracuse plus 17.5. UAB and Tennessee going off on Saturday. UAB 2-1 after their 31-28 home victory against Akron. Blazers rushed for less than 3 yards a carry against the Zips, and as usual, threw heavily for yardage. Defensively, they allowed 3.7 yards a carry to the Zips, but 282 yards passing for 8.1 yards per pass attempt. Jalen Kitna here, 30 of 45 passing for 351 yards, 2 touchdowns and a pick. Tennessee drops to 2-1 after a 44-41 home defeat to Georgia. The Vols rushed for 3.7 yards a carry with really strong passing. Defensively, they allowed 502 yards to the Bulldogs with 3.6 yards a carry, but 304 yards passing for 9.5 yards per pass attempt. Joey Aguilar, 24 of 36 passing for 371 yards with 4 touchdowns and 2 picks. UAB offensively rushed for 5.1 yards a carry and 9 yards per pass attempt. The Vols' pass defense gave up 248 yards per game, 7.2 yards per pass attempt. Tennessee's pass defense makes it tough to lay nearly 40 points with them. We'll take UAB plus 39.5. Oregon State and Oregon for Saturday. All right, Oregon State 0-3 after their 45-14 road defeat at Texas Tech. Beavers were poor on both sides of the football. They rushed for 8 yards a carry, but allowed 478 yards passing on 41 attempts. Malek Murphy, 24 of 43 passing for 279 yards with 2 touchdowns and 2 picks. Oregon moves to 3-0, a 34-14 road win at Northwestern. They built a 34-0 lead midway through the fourth quarter. The Ducks rushed for 176 yards for 5.9 yards a carry. They gave up a lot of junk yardage in the fourth quarter as the Wildcats had 2 meaningless touchdown drives to beef up their stats at the end of the game. Dante Moore, 16 of 20 passing for 178 yards with a touchdown and pick. Oregon State struggling to run the football and stop the pass. They're allowing 9.1 yards per pass attempt. Oregon's running for over 7 yards a carry and completing 74% of their passes for 10 yards per pass attempt. Defensively, they hold opponents at 10 points a game with 5.6 yards per pass attempt. Oregon State 1-4 the spread as a road underdog, and 0-5 the spread on the road facing these good passing teams that average 250 yards passing or greater. The Ducks 9-6 to the spread as a home favorite. Pick here Oregon minus the 35. For more free pick videos, be sure to subscribe to our channel. We have lots of free picks over our channel delivered by myself, as well as our team of cappers here at TonySpicks.com. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Check out our live show every day at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time. Hit us up with that like, that thumbs up. We greatly appreciate it. And once again, you're looking to become a capper, send us an email and then visit our site, TonySpicks.com, for our best bets, our premium plays, and the promo code TonyT at checkout knocks off that 15%. That will do it for now. I'm Tony T. We'll talk to you later.